Think we just need a little music.
My milkshake brings all the boys to the bar. Their life is better than yours. Their life is better than yours. My milkshake brings all the boys to the bar. Their life is better than yours. 100 miles an hour would walk 500 more just to be the man that walks 500 miles to hot dogs. Hello, dude. You got wake up, something's waiting. Yeah, I can hit the now. Ooh, Barracuda.
While this is one of my favorite scenes from one of my favorite movies, identity theft is no laughing matter. I'm Corinne Collins, single momtrepreneur of 3. Unfortunately, I know the dangers of identity theft better than most. In 2012, I was the victim of identity theft at the hands of an ex who turned my world upside down. He got access to my ID, social security card, bank card, and cell phone. He attempted to cancel my kids' insurance, made it impossible to feed my children. It was frustrating to say the least, but even in my case, this was a better case than many. From wrongful arrest, being unable to file taxes, humiliation, and in some cases, untimely death. This is one epidemic that we need to be aware of and protect ourselves from. What is identity theft? It's the fraudulent acquisition and use of a person's private identifying information, usually for financial gain. Basically, it's people pretending to be you and doing something that would reflect badly on you, which would devalue you. What does this really mean? Well, it can mean being pulled over for a routine traffic stop and not making it home because someone in another state committed a crime in your name.
Meet Stancy Nesby, single mom working hard to take care of her kids.
Everybody needs to put themselves in my shoes and know that this could happen to them.
But something as simple as driving down the street strikes fear into the heart of this single mom. Already juggling 2 jobs and caring for her children on her own, the added stress took an emotional toll on her.
It's made it really hard for me to smile and be the normal person that I felt like I was at first.
Her nightmare began when she was pulled over for speeding. She admitted to speeding, but couldn't understand why she was being arrested.
I ended up going to jail that day. They didn't believe anything I was saying.
Police told her that they'd fixed the problem, yet she found herself being arrested, this time in her home. She was released and told that they'd fixed the problem, yet again she was arrested, being thrown to the ground, pinned down in front of her children.
The kids were crying, and basically they ended up, throwing me on the ground and sticking their knees in my back. I had nightmares about this.
Unfortunately, it didn't end there. She was arrested 7 different times and told that they would fix the problem.
Maybe it's because I'm not a rich person that they feel like I'm nobody. But I am somebody and I have feelings, and I don't think that they should run people's lives like this.
Let me ask you, how many times could you afford to spend in jail, away from your family, your job, your freedom? How long before you were written up or fired because your boss just simply couldn't believe that an honest, innocent person would be wrongfully arrested so many times? It really is scary. But listen to this story.
It doesn't matter who I am. As far as they're concerned, there's a block and there's nothing I can do. my identity was stolen, and it's still ongoing right now. We still don't know if this is going to be fixed or rectified, but they're using my information to pretend that they're me, and that's scary. You know, it's not something I want to ever have happen again, but that's what they do when they steal your identity. The not knowing is the worst part for me, and it's a really horrible way to live. It's just not living at all. It's not living. I was notified in July. I had received a letter basically just saying that there was something wrong. First I was in shock. I said, this can't be right, because I didn't do this, you know? I'm like, this has got to be a mistake. I couldn't even breathe. I was so angry and anxious and upset is not even the word, you know? People don't realize, it's like they're stealing your stuff, and they don't realize what they're doing to you. They don't realize that they're ruining your life. And I spent my whole life building, you know, so that I would be secure, and I don't have that anymore. And I don't have that security anymore, and it's terrible. It's a horrible, horrible feeling. You feel like somebody just sucked the life out of you, and everything you worked for is just crap now. It's crap, you know, and there's nothing you can do until it's fixed. There's got to be a way to prevent them from doing this. And it doesn't matter who you are, rich, poor, white, black, it doesn't make a difference. If you have a computer or a cell phone and you're putting out information, you can get your identity stolen. It can happen to anybody. And that's the sad thing. People just don't think it's going to happen to them. And if it happened to me, it can happen to anybody.
The tears, the frustration, the sleepless nights, the anger, the hurt. You go through so many emotions when you're a victim of identity theft, things that you could never even imagine. What can we really do? Our information is out there. So to say we're going to shred our documents and keep our information from going into the wrong hands, or we're not going to enter any information online, it's already out there. From the countless school forms, job applications, places where we pay our bills, our sensitive information is always at risk. Protection then becomes no longer a luxury, but necessary. Now, these are some things that I've heard. I have identity theft protection at my bank. I think it's wonderful that many are seeing the need to protect their bank and credit. But as we've heard, it's way more than that. Your bank is not going to alert you if someone stumbles in off the street into a hospital with an ID with your name in their face, has a blood test done in your name, and has your charts changed, or has you marked as diabetic and you aren't. I'll get protected if I ever lose my information. Well, you want to protect yourself before something happens. And plus, what's to stop a disgruntled employee from breaking into a database, stealing you and your family's information? When evaluating identity theft protection options, you want to make sure that you get something that's going to protect you in all areas where there could potentially be a threat. So it's more than just your bank account, your credit. Again, there's Social Security, tax identity, driver's license identity, medical identity. You want protection that will cover you in real time. So what this means is you want to be able to have monitoring that will alert you on Friday night for an issue that happened on Friday night and get to resolving that issue on Friday night, rather than having to wait till Monday, or in some cases 10 business days before you see any resolution. You want to get protection that offers you much more than monitoring. You want education.
You want credit counseling to be able to ask any number of credit-related questions and to be able to figure out how you can actually boost your credit score, and also ask any legal questions, because oftentimes when there's identity theft issues, there are legal concerns. You want to have access to law firms that can answer any question that might arise. Also, be aware of some of these big name companies that make claims that simply aren't true.
Identity theft protection service company LifeLock is in trouble again tonight. The FTC accuses it of failing to fully protect the data of its customers. The FTC says it violated a previous settlement made back in 2010 when LifeLock was forced to pay $12 million in refunds for false advertising. But the FTC claims it's now not living up to its settlement.
I want everyone I know to understand how serious this is. I want everyone I don't know to know how serious this is, because no woman, man, or child should have to live in fear, in sadness, depression, uncertainty. We deserve life, the best possible life. I stand at the ready to protect families. Will you stand with me?